Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're having a wonderful week. Like always, today I'm continuing with my Weeknd discography journey, and we have finally made it to Abel's debut studio album from 2013 called Kiss Land. Now, I already listened to his three mixtapes, the trilogy, House of Balloons, Thursday, and Echoes of Silence, and I was blown away. I just thought I was gonna sit down and listen to three mixtapes by The Weeknd, by Abel Tesfaye, and I wasn't prepared. I was shook. I was blown away. I was disturbed. I was excited. I was sad. I was just every emotion you can think of rolled into one when I was listening to the three mixtapes. I love them so much, and I still listen to them. They are literally on repeat. I feel like I know a bit more about Abel now than I did before listening to his mixtapes. I know more about his life, his past life, his personality, what he thinks about, what he goes through, what he does. His mind. I mean, I would love to spend a day in Abel's mind. I mean, I am very excited to see what Abel has in store for me on Kissland. And I am looking at the track list. There are 12 tracks, and the album is 1 hour and 5 minutes. And the only song I recall hearing is Wanderlust, track number 11, the Pharrell remix. But like always, if I start listening to a song and it sounds familiar, I'll let you guys know. But anyway, enough talking. Let's just jump right into the album with track number 1, Professional. Okay, that was track number 1, Professional, and of course, it's The Weeknd. I loved this track. Just like his first three mixtapes. This was really good. Of course, the production was amazing. It does sound different from his three mixtapes, I will say, the trilogy, but I still really enjoyed it. I love the journey I went on listening to this track. It's dark and it's ominous and it's haunting and it's beautiful. You need someone to tell you how you feel and you think your happiness is real. There's so much more the world has to reveal, but you choose to be concealed. So you're somebody now. But what's a somebody in a nobody town? And then he goes on to say, you made enough to quit a couple years ago, but it consumes you. It's everywhere you go. And just the thought alone got you tripping, got you losing your mind. We're professional. I know, you know, we're sophisticated at loving. We're professional at loving. What does it mean when your heart's already numb? I just find the lyrics on this track to be quite interesting. Every day you learn about yourself and nothing really played out how it's supposed to, depending on somebody else's wealth. But now you know the value of $1. And girl, I made enough of it to spend. I'm curious to know if he's singing about strippers. I don't know. How do you teach yourself how to smile in a world where your dreams can't be real? Every touch that you sell is a lie. It looks like he might be singing about this girl who's now a stripper, who was once, I don't know, maybe she was aspiring to be something else. Maybe a star, maybe, I don't know, but her dreams didn't happen, and now she's working the pole, and professional. We're professional, I know you know. We're sophisticated, I love it. What does it mean? I don't really know what it means. Oh, thank God I'm not the only one. So I did look up the meaning of the song, and some people have left their comments as to what they think the song's about, and people have generally said that the song they think is about a stripper or a prostitute. I think she's dancing to music, but maybe because he's a special talented singer, she fucks him. Could be about that, honestly. It's the Weeknd, who knows? Vocally, I really like the chorus of this song where it goes, I love you, love this love. It's really haunting. This whole song's haunting, and I really liked it. I would definitely listen to it again. How do you drain all the soul from your eyes? How do you teach yourself how to smile in a world where your dreams can't be real? I really like that part lyrically. But anyway, let's move on to track number 2, The Town. Okay, that was track number 2, The Town, and I enjoyed the track. I don't know, I liked it, but I wasn't really into it, even though, of course, I enjoyed the production. I enjoyed listening to Abel's voice, obviously. When it came to, I don't know, the lyrics and the story, and perhaps even the melody, there was something about this song that just wasn't really grabbing me. You did many things that I liked, and you like diamond rings I can provide. You made me feel so good before I left on the road. So obviously he's singing about this woman, and she liked to be spoiled, perhaps. She liked the diamond rings, and she liked what he was able to provide for her. And you deserve your name on a crown, on a throne. So this woman is a queen, and she deserves all the nice things in life. But he's been out of town. He has been back for a while. He apologizes. I've been trying to get this money, like I got a couple kids who rely on me. So he's been out there hustling, making money, on tour perhaps. I think he did bring up being on tour, yes. But I remember on the bathroom floor before I went on tour when you said we couldn't do it again. So this was before he went away on tour and left her behind. Because you had a thing with some other man. I wonder if this is the same girl he was singing about on his trilogy mixtapes. That would be interesting if it is. You said it was love, and you said you were lost, and you wish me good luck to find somebody to love. Now I've heard that you're single. So this girl is now single, and perhaps she wants to reconnect with him. I'll give you something to live for. You never thought you'd ever see my face again. So in essence, I think that's what the song's about. That's my interpretation. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm missing something. Let me know in the comments. But so far, we are 2 tracks into the album, and I'm not feeling this album as much as his 3 mixtapes. Lyrically, I just don't find this album as captivating and as intriguing. But we still have 10 more tracks to listen to, so let's move on to track number 3, Adaptation. Okay, that was track number 3, Adaptation, and this was another good song from The Weeknd, but in my opinion, it's not great. I am struggling a little bit with this album. I'm not as drawn to it as I was the trilogy with House of Balloons and Thursday and Echoes of Silence. I feel like there's something missing. I don't want him to redo and duplicate what he did on the trilogy. I want him to experiment and try new things, branch out, but at the same time, I'm not. I can't even explain it. It's just not pulling me in. The production though, I mean, of course the production is moody, it's dark, it's ominous, like I said already. I really enjoy the production. But I think it more so has to do with the lyrics and the melodies. I'm not really drawn to the lyrics on this album. I'm not really interested in them. Whereas the lyrics on the trilogy were so captivating to me, and I was glued to my screen the entire time reading them. I was so fascinated by the lyrics on the trilogy, but when it comes to these lyrics, I'm just kind of reading through them, and I'm not really engaged with them. When the sun goes up, you're searching for a love, so your heart won't lead you to anyone. When the sun goes down, I know what you become. You become awake, unlike the rest of us. Now my madness is the only love I let myself embrace. My madness. It's interesting how he says, now my madness is the only love I let myself embrace, because the title of his next album is Beauty Behind the Madness, so I find that interesting. Anyway, he also goes on to say, I let it go for a little fun. I made a trade, gave away our days for a little fame. Now I'll never see your face. So it looks like he's now successful, he's famous, he's going on tour, and he traded his relationship and perhaps his love for fame. And he'll now never see this person again. But it's okay, I adapted anyway. So it's okay, he's adapted to the realization that he's famous, he's successful, and he's okay with that. He's adapted to these models. Who's adapted to the models. So he's adapted to these new girls in his life. Pretty beautiful models that he's surrounded by, I imagine, all the time. Who's adapted to the bottle. They take it down like water just to burn away their sorrows. I'll stay up till tomorrow just to tear down all their morals. Oh. Because I chose the life that I realized she might have been the one. So this girl might have been the one, but he has already chose his life of fame and touring and that lifestyle, so it looks like he's not gonna be able to get this girl back, unfortunately. So now that I actually dig into the lyrics and read them out loud, I do find them a bit more interesting. So I do like the lyrics. They're just not as fascinating as the lyrics on the trilogy, which were so fucked up and just drugs and sex and alcohol and strippers and just all this craziness happening. I find this album much more tame than his mixtapes. But anyway, let's move on to track number 4, Love in the Sky. Okay, that was track number 4, Love in the Sky, and um I like this track. It's probably one of my favorite tracks so far on the album. And I liked the production because it sounded like it was raining, perhaps a thunderstorm. I felt like I was in an alley somewhere. Once again, it's dark, ominous, and the production's great, of course. There's no one inside, but you're free to relax if you commit to this ride. There's no turning back. You've been here before. Remember these sheets. The world's not for us. It's not what it seems. We'll learn to love how to dream. We'll find our love in the sky. We'll find our love in the sky. And then he goes on to say, been flying around the world. I've been killing in these shows, but I'm always getting high because my confidence low, and I'm always in a rush. Ain't no time to fuck slow. And even if I try, it's not something I would know. But I'm sure I'll make you come do it 3 times in a row. Well, and I'm sure you would have left with that pussy in control. Ha! So essentially, I feel like this song is just about getting high, having sex, love in the sky. He's been flying around the world and he's stressed out. And his confidence is low, so that's why he's always getting high. And I'm always in a rush, ain't no time to fuck slow. So if he's gonna fuck you, he's gonna take you to Pound Town, and he's gonna make you come like you've never come before. He's gonna make you come 3 times in a row. Can I also say that I enjoyed the transition between track number 3, Adaptation, and track number 4, Love in the Sky? I actually almost missed it because in these videos, I stop at the end of each track, so I had to go back for a second because I noticed at the end of track 3, Adaptation, it kind of trailed on. And I was thinking, well, is this going to be a transition? And lo and behold, it was, so I thought that was pretty cool. And there's also another transition between tracks 4 and 5, Love in the Sky, Belong to the World. Love in the Sky ends with a gunshot. I actually don't know if it was a gunshot or a thunderclap, because at the end of Love in the Sky, you do hear rain. So perhaps it was a thunderclap, or maybe it was a gunshot. I don't know. But anyway, let's move on to track number 5, Belong to the World. Okay, that was track number 5, Belong to the World, and this is another one of my favorite tracks on the album so far. I'm enjoying this album a lot more now than I initially was, and I'm having fun now. Not to say I wasn't initially, but it's definitely making progress, in my opinion, with each track I listen to, and the more I listen to the album. I like the lyrics, of course, and the production. It's so eerie, it's spooky, and I can't even explain it. It's just so not animalistic, but there's just something very haunted. I don't know. It's like if I was walking down a dark alley, I would just think that there was someone watching me from behind or following me, or I can't really explain it, but with track number 4, Love in the Sky, and now track number 5 with The Rain, and I don't know, I'm just picturing myself walking by myself alone at night. It's very late at night, and there's rain, and I'm wearing a rain jacket, a hood over my head, and it almost feels like something's following me, or there's something strange in the air around me, the atmosphere. I can't really explain it. It's one of those moments where you're walking alone at night, you're walking home perhaps, or somewhere, and you just want to get to your destination as fast as possible. You don't know why, but you feel like something bad might happen, so you're just trying to get to your destination as fast as possible. I know you want your money, girl, because you do this every day. The way you doubt your feelings and look the other way. I'm not a fool, I just love that you're dead inside. I'm not a fool, I'm just lifeless too. But you taught me how to feel when nobody ever would. And you taught me how to love what nobody ever could. And then he goes on to say, I want to embrace you, domesticate you, but you belong to the world. So you don't belong to me, you belong to everyone else as well, not just me. You belong to the loneliness of filling every need of everyone else. So perhaps he's singing about a prostitute once again. I know you want your money, girl. So that's what he opened the song with. So I'm interpreting this song as this girl is a prostitute and she doesn't belong to one man or one guy. She belongs to everyone because she fills the void, she fills the loneliness of everyone, not just one person. I think I'm right. But anyway, let's move on to track number 6, Live For, and this is featuring Drake.
Off of the strip tease, but she don't look like anymore. Hips all on 45, waist all on 24. The shit that I live for, with the people I die for. This shit you can't fake, dog. It's the shit that I live for. It's the shit that I live for. With the people I live for. It's the shit that I live for. It's the shit that I live for. With the people I live for.
Okay, that was track number 6, Live For, featuring Drake, and I enjoyed this track. It's definitely, in my opinion, the most commercial sounding song on the album so far. I also really liked the harp as well. It was totally unexpected, and I like this track. I do want to go back to the previous song for a second, Belong to the World, because it does say here that the song's lyrics for Belong to the World revolve around falling in love with the wrong person and are about a serious relationship that The Weeknd once had. So I thought the song was perhaps about a prostitute or a stripper, I don't know. It looks like it's about a woman he fell in love with, but it was the wrong person. It was a serious relationship, so I don't know, maybe she wasn't a prostitute or a stripper, maybe she was, I don't know. Even though I did enjoy the song, I did feel like the chorus was a little annoying. I liked it. This is the shit I live for, this is the shit I live for, this is the shit I live for with the people I die for, this is the shit I live for, this is the shit I live for. I genuinely like this song, but I did find it a little annoying. This is a self-explanatory song. He's saying, do it all just to know where it gets you. Live in dreams we can never afford. This is the shit I live for, with the people I die for. So he's touring the world and spending money recklessly on girls and booze and drugs and whatever he wants. The finer things in life, and this is the shit that he lives for. This is what he enjoys doing, and he's doing it with the people he died for. So that's what I got out of the song. But anyway, we're gonna move on to track number 7, Wanderlust. Okay, that was track number 7, Wanderlust, and this was the 6th and final single from Kissland, and this is, I believe, the very first Weeknd song I'd ever heard in my entire life. And the second I heard it, I was like, who sings this song? What is this song? I need to listen to it again. So I downloaded it, and I've been a fan of this song for many, many years. Now, I initially said that track number 6, Live For, is the most commercial sounding song on the album in my opinion, but I now think that Wanderlust is probably the most commercial sounding song on the album. And when I say it's the most commercial sounding song on the album, I don't mean that as a diss or a negative. I'm just saying that it's something you could hear on the radio. It's something that, I don't know, it's something that just sounds popular. Good girls go to heaven and bad girls go everywhere. And tonight, I will love you. And tomorrow, you won't care. Precious little diamond, I give it all to you. You're in love with something bigger than love. You believe in something stronger than trust. Wanderlust. What is Wanderlust? They're in love with this idea of love. It's a shame that they'll believe it'll come for us all. Wanderlust. So, you believe in something stronger than trust. Wanderlust. They're in love with this idea of love. I get the impression that perhaps Wanderlust is something that you're just stumbling around to find. You're just wandering around trying to feel and experience true love and lust, but it's not real because you're just wandering around and stumbling around trying to find and achieve it. I don't know, that's my interpretation of the song and what Wanderlust is. I have to look up Wanderlust because it's driving me crazy. I want to know what it actually is. Oh, is Wanderlust an actual word? I didn't know that. I thought it was just, I don't know, I just thought it was a Weeknd word that he just came up with. It's an actual word. Wanderlust is a strong desire to travel. Oh, so you're traveling for lust. So you're going from place to place for sex and love and lust. What is a Wanderlust person? It just says that Wanderlust is a very strong desire to travel and is someone who just after returning home from a 2-month trip immediately starts planning their next one. Okay, but in the context of The Weeknd, I feel like it's more so related to sex, perhaps. You believe in something stronger than trust. Wanderlust. They're in love with this idea of love. It's a shame that they'll believe it'll come for us all. And tonight I will love you, and tomorrow you won't care. Precious little diamond, I give it all to you. So he's giving it all to this girl, but tomorrow she won't care. You're in love with something bigger than love. You believe in something stronger than trust. Wanderlust. The more I read the lyrics to this song, the more I fall in love with it, honestly. I feel like an idiot for not actually knowing what Wanderlust was. I've been listening to this song for years and years and years. I just thought it was a word that the Weeknd just came up with. Um, that's embarrassing, or is it? I don't know, but I don't care. Anyway, let's move on to track number 8, Kiss Land.
When I got on stage, she swore I was 6 feet tall. Cause if you back here only taking pictures, you gon' have to take your ass off. Don't hold back, don't hold back. You can meet me in the moon where the kisses ain't free. And if you're still up, I'm tryna fuck you in the morning. I got a brand new place. I think I've seen it twice all year. Well, probably not if I keep my habits up. Probably not if I don't got any friends. I got X on my blood work and I'm posted up down in Florida for a lot of dance. She growing hard to be a teacher. I make her harder with go girls. I make her sucker with go girls. And you try.
Okay, that was track number 8, Kiss Land, and this album gets better with each track I listen to, and I love this track a lot. In particular, the second part of the song I really enjoyed, but like the whole song in general. It was great. I love these Weeknd songs where there's a transition halfway through. I mean, this song is over 7 minutes, I believe. About 7 minutes and 30 seconds. So I love these sorts of Weeknd songs, and I feel like this might be one of my favorites. You gotta pay with your body, not really into kissing, leading into nothing. I'm into shows every night. If you play your cards right, I might fuck around. Bring your whole crew on tour. So it looks like once again he's singing about strippers. I don't know. That's my interpretation of the song. I mean, the lyrics are alluding to strippers. Or maybe he's not. Maybe these are just girls he met somewhere. Because the only thing you're taking is your clothes off. Go ahead, strip it down, close your mouth. I just want to hear your body talk. Don't hold back. And then he also says, I got a brand new place. I think I've seen it twice all year. I can't remember how it looks inside. Can't relate to that. I went from staring at the same 4 walls for 21 years to seeing the whole world in just 12 months. So he's singing about touring, and he's sung about touring quite a bit on this album. He's brought it up on multiple tracks already. And I can't stand talking to brand new girls, only bitches down to fuck when you shower them with ones. I'm sorry, I just find the lyrics on this track to be quite interesting. Goddamn, I'm high. My doctor told me to stop, and he gave me something to pop. And I mix it up with some Adderall, and I wait to get to the top. And I mix it up with some alcohol, and I pour it up in a shot. I make her suck it with gold grills. In the back room, in the VIP, she don't ever leave. This ain't nothing to relate to, even if you tried. I just really love the story that he told on this song lyrically. The sex, the strippers, the drugs, the touring, the girls. It's very fascinating to me. And just like quite a few of the other songs on the album, this track is quite ominous and spooky, especially with the screaming. It says here that the song is divided into 2 musical portions, which is what I like. Like I said already, I like it when we have these Weeknd songs that transition in the middle from... It almost sounds like 2 different songs from one song to the next in the same track. It says here that the song is divided into 2 musical portions. The first section discusses themes of sex, while the latter half addresses the topics of alcoholism. Lyrically, this is probably my favorite track on the album, and overall, it is one of my favorite tracks on the album, so I really liked it. Let's move on to track number 9, Pretty.
Somebody told me it was pointless for me to come back into your arms. Why?
Okay, that was track number 9, Pretty, and I like this track. It's not one of my favorites on the album. I didn't initially like it when I first started listening to it, but then towards the end, I ended up really appreciating it. So I do like it. I just wouldn't listen to it all the time. Somebody told me it was pointless for me to come back into your arms, said you fucked another man finally. I knew this day would come. You've been living out your lie as long as you know that when I land, you're mine. So when Abel's on tour, this girl is fucking around with other guys, and when he lands back home, that's when she comes back to him. It's been exactly 365 since I've seen your face. I've been living on the road, and you've been living all alone at home. Girl, I hope he made you satisfied. He can't make you feel this pretty. He won't make you feel this beautiful when I make it there. So it looks like Abel and this girl are living in a cold, cold world. And when he's gone, she is cheating on him with another guy. But when he lands back home after being on tour and traveling the world, she runs back to him, but he knows. Somebody told me it was pointless for me to come back into your arms. Said you fucked another man finally. So people have been telling him not to go back to her, but he can't help himself, and he makes her feel beautiful and pretty in ways that this other man can't. So that was my interpretation of the song, and I liked it. Like I said already, it's still not one of my favorites, but of course I still enjoyed the lyrics and the production. I am warming up to the lyrics on this album. I know I said initially at the beginning of this video that I wasn't really feeling the lyrics, which is still the case to an extent. I don't think the lyrics on this album are as strong as his first 3 mixtapes. But anyway, let's move on to track number 10, Tears in the Rain. Okay, that was track number 10, Tears in the Rain, and another one of my favorite tracks on the album. It's so sad, it's so heart-wrenching, and his vocals were so painful, and he was mourning, and it was sad. I was sad. These lyrics are sad. Everything about this song is sad, and I really enjoyed this track. They all feel the same, adjust to the fame, cause no one will love you like her. It's pointless like tears in the rain. So now that she's gone, embrace all that comes, and die with a smile you don't show. I already felt love, and I let it end up dying by itself. And when it's said and done, you were better off. You deserve real love, and I deserve to be by myself. Now every girl I touch, they all feel the same. Adjust to the fame, cause no one will love you like her. I can't keep reading these lyrics because they're just so devastated. She forgot the good things about me. Honestly, one of the saddest Weeknd songs I've ever listened to. And I love it. Now, someone did say that they think the song is about Abel who lost his chance at love once he became famous. The girl he should have been with got away, and now everyone else only wants him because of his fame and wealth. To me, this is one of the highlights on the album, and I would definitely listen to it again. Production wise, and his vocals and the lyrics, just everything about this track I really enjoyed. That is one of the themes of the album, I find, how he is singing about his wealth and money and fame a lot more on this album than he was on his mixtapes. He's singing about going on tour and just money in general and what money does to relationships and what fame does to relationships and how it ruins relationships and brings other sorts of relationships into your life. Whether they be fake or real, who knows? But when you become famous and rich and successful, you end up losing a lot of relationships you initially had, but you start forming new ones. But these new relationships can be very manipulative, and you don't know what their end game is. Do they genuinely want to be around with you, or do they just want to be around with you for your money and your fame and success, or for who you genuinely are? So I don't know what this is, but I guess I'm clapping. Why am I clapping this album? I shouldn't be applauding this album. I should because it's the Weeknd, but I'm just rambling now. But we still have 2 more tracks. Oh my god, what's happening? Anyway, I was gonna give you my synopsis of what I thought of the album, but we still have 2 more tracks left. Track number 11, Wanderlust, the Pharrell remix, which I've heard already. I probably won't listen to it on camera for you guys. I will briefly listen to it though. So I did listen to the song briefly, and I still enjoy the track Wanderlust. It's still one of my favorites from the album. I like the Pharrell remix. I think the Pharrell remix is the version of Wanderlust that I first heard way back when. But anyway, let's get into the final track of the album, track number 12, Odd Look. And this is featuring The Weeknd. This is a song by Kavinsky, so let's get into it.
Your hesitation speaks to me louder than million words. Free and hard souls just like yesterday. Should I get on and I swear you'd be the same. You get dressed up like twins. I can teach you some French. Your hesitation speaks to me. Do you feel like you got your money's worth? Hesitation speaks to me louder than million words per minute.
Okay, that was the final track of the album, track number 12, On Look, featuring The Weeknd by Kavinsky. And I love Kavinsky. I haven't heard many of his songs, but I remember hearing one of his songs for the first time in the 2011 film Drive, starring Ryan Gosling. Yes, Ryan Gosling. I remember hearing the song Night Call in that movie, and I instantly fell in love with Kavinsky. I was born to this life you're living in this game, said nothing will ever be the same when you're finished. I freed a couple of souls just yesterday. I had a good girl in my room, no tats on her skin. I put work all in her purse. She got guilt all in her grin. All you girls try to be saints, I'll make you roll with a sinner. Well, you can come to my hotel, you can bring me a friend. This is definitely something The Weeknd has sung about before, bringing girls to his room and getting them high and drunk. You can dress up like twins, I can teach you some French, paper planes full of kush, a couple cups full of gin. I was born to this life you're living in this game. So he's bringing these girls to his room, girls who might be innocent. They're not really experienced when it comes to sex and drugs, but he's definitely bringing them over to the dark side. I did enjoy the song. I liked the production. I liked the lyrics, obviously. This wasn't part of the regular edition of the album. It was added later on. So initially, it wasn't part of the album. And I don't know, I feel like it doesn't really fit in with the rest of the album. Lyrically, it does. It sounds like a Weeknd song, but there's something about the song that just doesn't to me anyway, it doesn't really mesh with the rest of the album. It kind of does, but it does feel like the black sheep, but I still enjoyed listening to it. But anyway, that was all 12 tracks of Kissland by The Weeknd, and I ended up enjoying myself. I was a little concerned after the first couple tracks. I didn't really know what to make of the album, but as I started listening to more of the songs, I grew to really appreciate the album, and now I do enjoy it. I don't like this album as much as his mixtapes, the trilogy. I don't think this album is as good as the mixtapes, unfortunately. Lyrically, I don't think it's as good. I really do like the production. I did like the lyrics on quite a few of the tracks, but the lyrics on this album didn't really grab me as much as the mixtapes. I also feel like this album is more commercial sounding. There are definitely tracks on this album that you could hear on the radio. They're more pop. And again, like I said already earlier in my video, just because I say something is more commercial sounding doesn't mean that's a negative or a diss. I also like how he's singing about being on tour on this album and what that entails, the relationships that crumble and the relationships that form because of wealth and fame and being a famous musician and traveling the world and meeting new people. So I'm definitely very curious to see where his story progresses with his next few albums. And of course, I enjoyed the production on this album just as much as his mixtapes. It was very ominous and eerie and spooky. All the good things we've come to expect from production on a Weeknd album. It doesn't sound exactly like the trilogy. It definitely does sound like its own album. But at the end of the day, I do think that this is a solid debut studio album from The Weeknd, and I would definitely listen to it again. There are a few tracks from this album that I probably wouldn't really listen to again, but there are definitely other ones that I enjoyed and I would listen to over and over again, and I would add to my Weeknd playlist. It does say here that Kissland symbolizes the tour life, which is something I did pick up on because he does bring up touring quite a bit in the lyrics of the songs on this album. But it's a world that I created in my head, just like House of Balloons symbolizes Toronto and my experiences there. But it's a world that I created, Kissland. When I think about Kissland, I think about a terrifying place. It's a place I've never been to before, that I'm very familiar with. A lot of it is inspired by filmmakers like John Carpenter and Ridley Scott and David Cronenberg. I don't know who that is. Because they know how to capture fear, these particular directors. And that was also something I picked up on. There were moments during this album that I felt alone. I felt like I was walking down an alley. It was late at night and there was rain around me and there was something ominous following me. So I definitely got the spooky, terrified aspect that he was trying to create. Kissland is like a horror movie. Okay, I can definitely see that. I was definitely freaked out at times listening to this album, I won't lie. Abel explained where the title Kissland came from, saying, "I didn't want to call it Dark World or something so generic. The title came from a conversation I overheard, and those words stuck out. Someone said Kissland, and I thought that's going to be the title of my album." It's definitely a very interesting name for an album that's supposed to be terrifying and is inspired by horror movies and horror directors. So I think that's all I want to say on the album. What did you guys think of it? What are your impressions? Maybe you love this album, tell me why. Maybe you hate it. Again, tell me why. And how does this album compare to the other albums in his discography? So now that we're done Kissland, in my next Weeknd video, we'll be moving on to his second studio album called Beauty Behind the Madness from 2015. So until then, thanks for watching, guys. You can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Twitter, you can message me, you can say, hey, how are you? So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care.